Good afternoon, folks. Hi, Phil McPhail here with United Country Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Welcome to the town of Lincoln, and today I'm really excited to show you a 20-acre lakefront property with over 1,700 feet of lake frontage, a beautiful peninsula. This location feels like you're in the middle of nowhere, but we're only 8.5 miles from downtown Lincoln. So come along with us. We're going to take a look at the shorefront, some of the improvements on the property, and stick around later in the video. We're going to give you a little bonus tip about what you can do with this property a year from now. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the lake that this property is situated on. This is Upper Pond here in Lincoln. This is a 506-acre lake. Maximum depth here is about 31 feet. The lake averages around 12 feet of depth. This is a great body of water to paddle a kayak on, a canoe, take a small fishing boat. It's got rocky shores, some shallows. It's good fishing here for brook trout and for white perch. Just a beautiful rural area and a very remote pond. We're going to take a walk now out towards the end of this peninsula, but before we do, we'll talk about, well, as we're walking out there, I want to tell you a little bit about the town of Lincoln. Town of Lincoln's got a population of just over 4,800 people. The town is well known because there's 13 lakes in this town. So when you hear the slogan, come for the lakes, but stay for the lifestyle, that's where Lincoln came up with that. We're blessed with an abundance of water in this region. And as we walk down here, I'll tell you a little bit about our location. We got, like I said, Lincoln, great town. It's got all the services. There's a hospital about 7 miles from here. We've got doctor's offices, dentists, shopping centers, Walmart, sporting goods, car dealers, building supplies, everything you could need. You don't need to go farther than Lincoln to get what you want. The town of Bangor, the city of Bangor, is 55 miles from this location. Bangor is the third largest city in the state of Maine. It's definitely the largest city in the north half of the state. The city of Portland is about 186 miles from here. It's a 2.5-hour ride. That's Maine's largest city. And the big city of Boston, Massachusetts is about 290 miles, 4 hours and 35 minutes roughly from here. Down here, almost to the end of the peninsula now, and as we've been walking here, maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, we've been walking by some really old growth hemlock trees, some big eastern white pine. This is a beautiful setting. We have water surrounding us right here, almost 280 degrees around us as it comes in and necks down. This peninsula is too narrow to build your cabin or house on. You got to have a 100-foot setback from the normal high water mark of the lake, which is pretty typical in Maine unless it's further than that. This is a 100-foot setback. Beautiful peninsula though. What you could do down here, have a boat dock out on the peninsula. You could put up a portable screen tent down here and sit out here, enjoy the evening, the breeze coming across this peninsula. Maybe clean up some of these blown down pine and spruce and have a campfire. But it's just a gorgeous spot. And as you can see off to my right, we've got high bush blueberries that surround a lot of our ponds here in Lincoln, and these will produce on a good year more berries than you would ever want to use. Well, we're down here at the end of the peninsula at the very point, and I guess we might as well talk about points of interest while we're down here on the point. Lincoln is pretty centrally located in the state of Maine. A lot of the things that people come to Maine for are pretty close by. For instance, we're about an hour's drive from the coast of Maine, the northern coast near Calais area and Eastport. You can be down there checking out conservation lands, hiking trails along the shore. It's a beautiful area. Get yourself a lobster meal while you're there. Baxter State Park is about 55 miles from here, a little over an hour's drive. That's home to Mount Katahdin. The Penobscot River runs right through Lincoln. Penobscot is one of Maine's largest river systems. Great place to paddle a canoe, take a boat in the bigger sections. We've got world-class smallmouth bass fishing in that river in the lower sections. As you get further north into the wilderness areas, it's going to transition to brook trout and some quality landlocked salmon fishing. The University of Maine in Orono is about a 45-minute ride from here. That's the state's largest university. You can go down there, take a class, check out a play at the Performing Arts Center, catch a football game, Division I football. It's a big university, close to home. Let's see, Bangor, we've talked about that earlier, 55 miles, restaurants, movie theaters, everything you could want in a small city except for the crime. One of the nice things about this property here at 85 Woodcock Lane is the improvements that have been done to this site. We have nearly 1,000 feet of driveway running in here. A big area cleared. We're about 100 feet off the water on the edge of this clearing. There's also another clearing up on a higher piece of ground. We're going to walk over there right now. I'll show you that. This area has been filled with gravel. Yeah, you could build down here. Your septic would probably need to be pumped if you did that, unless you went with some other alternative septic design or something like a composting toilet or whatever. That might be an option. So if you want to be closer to the water, you could be down here. My clients had at one time thought about this being the choice location. This little rise comes up about 15 feet in elevation from the lower section. And up here we got about probably an acre of cleared land. Driveway's roughed into this site right here. And we have a combination of Monada Burnham and Howland soils according to the NRCS web soil survey. Howland soils look like what we've got right here. This is a kind of a sandy, gravelly material, well drained. Monada Burnham, mostly forestry soils, usually real rocky, not as well drained, good for growing trees and wildlife. Right over here, we've got the septic design benchmark, okay? So if you're the lucky buyer of this property, don't cut this tree down until you've got your septic system in. If you decide to put it up here, everything's gonna come off of that tag right there. And as you can see behind me, most of this has been cleared up. The owner's bucked up some wood here, but rough leveled. Some of the stumps are pulled. There's still stumps here to pull, but the soil here is good. Septic design's in place. If you were gonna do an off-grid power system, you got some really good exposure to the south, so you could put your array over here somewhere, your building up here. It's kind of laid out very well for that. We're gonna take you out and show you a little more of the driveway, and then stick around, we're gonna show you that other bonus part of the property that we told you about earlier. We're out here on Woodcock Lane where the driveway leaves Woodcock Lane. This is our driveway here to my left, your right. Again, there's about 1,000 feet down to the building sites. We've got over 800 feet of frontage here along Woodcock Lane, and we're gonna go take a look at that special spot I was telling you about earlier. We're up here on the northwest corner of the lot, and like I told you before, there is something interesting about this piece of land. This land was actually surveyed off and divided out of a larger parcel about 4 years ago, actually. In September of 2025, there'll be enough time passed that you can carve a lot off of this property and resell it, or give it to a family member, or whatever you want to do. So we're in that northwest corner. The seller has actually brought this driveway in here, and you can see they're actually working on it as we're here. We've got a really nice building site right off Woodcock Lane here. It's a big pine knoll. If you come in here a couple hundred feet, that knoll starts to pitch away. What a spot for like a daylight front. Do a little more tree clearing here, get yourself a nice view. But this is a really nice gravel driveway. It's already in place, and your building site right over here. So if you were to have a family member or friend, or you want to buy this property and recover some of your initial investment, here's that opportunity. Thanks for coming along on the tour of this property here at 85 Woodcock Lane in the town of Lincoln. Before we wrap this up, smash that like button for us if you would, and don't forget, if you've been watching our videos for a while and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you hit that subscription button down below. The price on this property is at $250,000. Let's wrap up the terms of what this property has to offer. We got 20 acres all surveyed. We got a soil test in place. We've got lots of driveways, clearings, and building sites prepped for you. 1,760 feet, more or less, of frontage along Upper Pond. The taxes on this property run $1,960 for 2024, and it's located in the town of Lincoln that has lots to do other than enjoying the water. So if you want to come see it, give me a call at 800-286-6164. Looking forward to it.